listening to Between Two Bridges, a business-to-business podcast. With your hosts, Anthony R. Destiny, Joe Ferrani, and Jerry Kenna. Interviewing entrepreneurs, business operators, and investors. This episode of Between Two Bridges is sponsored by Paymark Payroll. Payday is the most important day to your most important people, and payday is made easy at www.payyourpeople.com.
Alrighty, we are here. So 39, I believe.
Yeah, I think
that's. Two Bridges.
I think it's accurate. It's not fake news.
Sitting in the face of local media star Joe Ferrante.
Yeah.
So you made the trip. What's up with that, buddy?
I made the trip, and one of the convenience things about not living in the same area that you own your business, I made the trip in the North Hills, right, and then made the trip in Fox Chapel.
That's awesome.
Double news.
Double news.
You're famous.
Yeah, pretty famous.
For what? What'd you do?
Well, I've been in the trip multiple times. This wasn't in the police vlog this time. I've been there. And no, so I owe it to my customers to inform them that we're leaving.
Yes.
I followed, like, if you Google, you can Google like news. Like, so I look up dry cleaners and news, and lucky bastards are burning down everywhere, and people are moving. And one of the things I've always seen when they're moving is there's always the person that's like, they stole my shit. They stole it and they closed up. And I'm like, I don't want to do that because we're going to remain in business.
Yeah.
So I reached out to the Trib and explained to them what was going on. And
did you email them? Do you have some guy's number? You just can't reach out to the newspaper.
Yeah, no, you can. So when you open the first page, there's like a list of numbers of people that do certain, like advertise. They're real big on selling ads.
Yeah.
But I called the public address leader of the Trib, I guess.
All right.
Shout out Katie Green. She never called me back. I thought it was a shot in the dark.
Not a shot.
And then she must have got me in touch with this gentleman, and he came, and Harry Funk. Yeah, Harry Funk brought the news. So it was cool though, because Harry's like an old school guy. Like, he had the tape recorder, and we sat in the back room, and he asked good questions, and I gave better answers and made his job easy.
It's great.
So, but yeah, I mean, any publicity is good in business.
Yeah. So this is certainly something you've shared on the show. So it's real.
Yeah. It's, there's no turning back now. Funny enough, as of 5:00 PM, I got a text message from my contact at my landlords, and they said they have a tenant that's ready to prepare moving forward September 1. So
now you gotta go.
How long you been there, Joe?
I've been there 7 years. But Doro's been there 50.
Is it a dry cleaner moving in?
Nah, they tried that route.
Yeah.
And that's how, like, I never want to call your competition and be like, hey man, you're about to get fucked because I'm leaving. You're going to be a little busier because it's coming. I mean, not everybody's going to go the home delivery route, but they sent letters to all the dry cleaners in the area.
Did they?
Yeah. They were going to try to do like a turnkey.
Yeah.
Which I was on board for because we didn't have a lot of discussion about it, but yeah, I threw an asshole number out. And he was like, what would you take, like, for all your equipment? I was like, I don't know, give me $250,000. And if someone would have taken him up on that offer, that would have been real sweet. Just bought new shit.
Yeah.
So, but my people know that we're in delivery. So, like, the bigger players that would be willing to shell out some cash for like a turnkey dry cleaners, they would buy it, convert at the counter, and then close it. What they've done.
Oh,
so
really?
yeah, that's their model, yeah. So they already knew that I did that. So it's like, yeah, pun intended. But they knew that isn't an option in this location. So
yeah,
the reception from the customers has been phenomenal. Like, people have already figured out how to get online and like sign up for delivery, and they're figuring.
You're seeing a spike in that?
I'm seeing a spike in new signups.
Yep.
People are willing to use the store now because it's their thing. And I said in the newspaper article, it's like weird. People wake up, it's Wednesday, they go to the dry cleaner. It's like I have people that I could tell you exactly when they're going to walk in the door.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
what's the website, Joe? Let's plug it.
Well, we're still
if I want to sign up for delivery.
DoroCleaners.com. We're using that for now. We figured we're not going to hit everybody with everything at once.
Yeah.
You know, we're still pretty synonymous with like the North Hills area. So we're going to run that through the transition here, and then probably closer towards the end of October, November, start converting the name over. I've come to realize that like as much as you think like people love your business and like they're like, well, they come here for me, they love me. They don't. They just come for the service that's provided.
Yeah.
You know, and as long as they're still getting the service provided, my interactions with my customers recently have been like time frames where our previous delivery driver would be there at like 9 a.m. on the dot. But they're like, we ran the route different because he started from his home. So now we start from McKnight Road. So it's like flipped.
Mm-hmm.
So like the first stop of the day has now become the last stop of the day. And they're like, well, is he coming? I'm like, yeah. They're like, okay, good. Click, hang up the phone. Haven't heard from him in 3 weeks. Like,
yeah,
they're just, they just want.
As long as it keeps happening.
Yeah.
I don't care.
And that's what I was like, I compared it to like Amazon. Like if I ordered a solenoid valve for my washing machine and it says that it's going to be there tomorrow, I'm not calling Amazon and being like, when the fuck's it getting here?
Right.
But I will call them and say, why the fuck isn't it here?
Right.
Like, so it's like this. I mean, I guess like with me and my business and like what we're doing is I use Amazon where a lot of business owners wouldn't, because like Amazon's so like you can't even touch Amazon. But like, why the fuck can't I try? Let's fly.
Could you provide tracking?
I track my driver. So
All right.
It comes up on the app. It's pretty cool. And like, I can see how many stops he's made, how many he's missed. A missed stop in our app is like,
what app's that?
it's through our point of sale.
Nice.
So like a missed pickup doesn't mean he wasn't there. It means they didn't have a bag out.
All right.
So what we're working on is like, you're allowed to have 3 misses because they get a text message the night before saying, hey, do you have anything? They can respond no, and it immediately removes them from the list.
Ideal.
So he doesn't go there. But if they don't respond or they respond yes, and he goes there, then they become a missed. There's not a bag. But if he creates an order, they're in the good. So we're coming up with a plan to be like, all right, well, if you have 3 strikes, you're out.
What's out mean?
Out means you're going to get charged.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Should.
So
Gas, time.
well, UPS does it. I mean, not on a homeowner front, but in a commercial setting, if you schedule a pickup for UPS and you're not ready to ship when they get there, they leave and they charge you.
Really?
Yeah, because like in our other business, we have to be very careful because I'll say, Harry, do you think you can get this done today? He's like, yeah, we scheduled the UPS. If he doesn't have it ready, bang, get charged. Because like they have analytics and
Yeah.
it's the way of the world, you know?
I mean, that driver took time to go that direction.
Right.
You know, fuel time.
And they factor it in because you put in your sizes, your weights.
So they charge you the full amount of your shipment?
No, you get charged a fee.
Okay.
Yeah. So you got to eliminate fees. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Junk fees. That's not even a junk fee. That's being a dickhead fee.
That's stupidity fee.
Yeah, you fucked up. So,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, freight's kind of stabilized. I mean, we were saying earlier, lumber prices have come down.
Right.
Freight's stable. Paper's up. I think Amazon's to blame for the paper being up. So they use the shit out of boxes. I get shit in boxes.
You save the boxes?
I mean, it's too hot out right now to catch a fire, but I burn a lot of that shit when it's cold out.
Yeah.
But they box shit inside of boxes.
Right.
So
They do. They use a lot of cardboard, man.
Yes. I mean, so that was that article actually was good too. It ripped the Band-Aid off for me.
Yeah, you're out there, Joe.
Yeah, I have some customers that like I haven't told yet because I didn't know how they were going to react.
Anybody call?
A lot of phone calls.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a girl pick up a wedding dress that's been in my store for 4.5 years because she was afraid she couldn't get it if we closed, which that's a bonus.
Charge her for storage.
There was $350 in my pocket. I was like, nice. I thought I was.
She hadn't paid?
She didn't pay. It was that's one of those things. She lucked out. I should have charged her triple, but
yeah.
Yeah, because actually gallons are up now. We're up almost $400 to box a gallon. So
is that right?
Yeah. But one of the things that's funny is people started to come get their stuff, like people that don't frequent the dry cleaners all the time. So now my conveyor, when it spins, has some like voids in it. And like I was telling somebody the other day, I said 2 years ago, if I'd have looked up and saw that my conveyor had a fucking heart attack, I'd have just dropped on the floor dead. Like, I'm out of business. My conveyor's not full. Now I'm like, it's less shit. I gotta move. Like, get it out of here. So
yeah, that's got to be an added stress. Is moving other people's stuff from one location to the other, keeping it organized. I know there's the barcode system and stuff for your point of sale, which is fantastic, but that's got to add additional stress, is moving all that stuff.
Yeah, and I feel like Tom Hanks in Castaway whenever it's like the last package. Like, I will not be happy until the last person gets their clothes back, and then we're fresh. Like, then we have a system in place. But until I'm going to be driving to Nashville to drop off a suit or something. Yeah, we'll go. We'll document it.
Business trip.
Between two bridges on the road.
Right off.
Well, I'll buy a motorcycle. It's only going to be one suit on my finger. You drive.
You get a ride, bitch.
Yeah. You hungry? No, I ate a juju bug in my back. So it's fun though, because like we've hinted about this for months here.
I mean, we've been talking. It's here, man. Yeah, it's wild because I've been
there's no
sitting shotgun on your ride here.
There's no turning back now.
There it is.
So I got to get done. I got to help this guy.
Yeah. Engineering. News?
Is that all moving forward?
It's moving forward.
Are we?
Got a snail's
pace. Are we washing? Pace. Not yet.
No, not yet.
All right.
I'm doing my own thing.
August.
September 1st is the deadline.
That's right.
Got to get it done.
Football season.
I can't even pay more rent if I want to, because that's off the table. So now I'll just pay fines. Fuck it.
Yeah.
How big could a fine be?
For not moving?
For not having the permit.
I'll get
Jerry.
Padlock the door. I'll cut a hole in the roof. Fuck it.
Man, I'm down.
I've played the game long enough. It's like almost the judge would almost side in my favor at this point.
Yeah, you're just trying to.
Yeah, I'm just trying to improve my business and
trying
keep
to work,
going.
Judge.
Yep. So I have all the paper documents in line that have been going on since March. And
big things, Joe. You sleeping at night? You all right?
Yeah, when you work as much as I've been working lately, I fucking sleep like a baby. I'm out.
Okay.
Yeah. Last night
stress levels are good.
Yeah, the Pirates are winning, which is funny because
we could go way off tangent with the trade deadline if you want.
But the last couple of games have been really exciting.
They have.
So Graham, my son, wants to lay down and go to bed, and I'm like, not really tired yet, but I lay with him, and then I Xfinity Extreme the game. I have not seen the last out yet. I usually just fall asleep with my phone. Just out cold, wake up at 5:02 in the morning like it's time to go. So
gotta go make the donuts.
They've spent some money.
Yeah.
Finally. Could be the year.
Could be the year. Well, this year will be the year you move.
Yeah.
Jerry's moving.
Yeah, we finally can make it official. Documents are signed, payments are made. Got the keys yesterday, and we are relocating. So letters and emails and all the communication to the clients hasn't gone out yet. So anybody that watches this is going to be like, what? But it is official. We're moving. When I moved to this location, a lot of my clients are going to be like, wow, your office is beautiful. And it is. I love it here.
But it floods here.
It does. But that is not why we're moving. That is a fixable problem. So when we moved here, I had the intention of eventually buying this property. And I don't want to rent forever. We've talked about it on the podcast before. Mm-hmm. A big thing when you eventually decide to retire and sell your business is that it has more value when there's a piece of real estate attached to it, right? Not just rented space. So, and ultimately, like I have rental properties, I deal with a lot of real estate investing and things like that. So I knew that the end game was that I needed to own my space. Things have changed since I moved here. The property is for sale. There's a warehouse attached to it, as everybody knows, including my clients. I've kind of taken a different look at things, different perspective, turned 40, wiser now, and decided that I didn't really want that warehouse. I felt like it was going to end up being more of a liability for me. It was going to be more stress and headache. It needs some work. And I just didn't really want to take on that burden. So, and to buy this building, I had to buy that warehouse. It's all one parcel, which makes the purchase price higher. And it also makes my stress levels and liability higher because I have to worry about that. Now, in the perfect world, I could have rented that building, probably brought in enough money to pay for all of the mortgage, including this building, which would have been fantastic. But finding a tenant, it just added a level of stress that I didn't really want to take on. So I decided that it was probably in my best interest to start looking elsewhere, figure something out. I've always been in the little Oakmont, Verona area, but also determined that, the majority of my client base isn't really from Oakmont and Verona. A lot of tax clients are, and a lot of my year-round businesses too, but my year-round clients, it's less important because they don't always come to the office. And as often as they have to, they're willing to travel a little bit within reason. So I started looking in the surrounding areas and spent a while looking. And there was one building on 910. It's Indiana Township, Cheswick zip code, that I've looked at for years. Every time I drive by it, I think that would be a great building for my business. It's all by itself, right on 910, so right on a main road, parking lot, backs up against the turnpike. And I thought that'd be great. Never been for sale. It always seemed like it they've had tenants come and go over the years. So I've seen for rent signs, but I've never seen it for sale. And I thought, I'm going to see if I can find who owns that. So I came back to the office, did a little bit of internet stalking, and I found a phone number for the guy that owns it. And I'm also not and as a business owner, this is a fault of mine, but I'm not a cold call, just randomly call some dude kind of guy.
Yeah, no, not that way.
It's tough.
When I get those calls like, hey, you want to sell that? I'm like, fuck off, bud.
Right.
So I didn't know what to expect, but I called him. I'm like, fuck it, I'm calling him. What do I have to lose, right? And I talked to him, super nice guy. And I said, was calling about your building on 910. He's like, yeah. And I said, any interest in selling it? And he's like, rent it or sell it? I said, sell it. And he said, buddy, I'm 61 going on 62. Everything's for sale. And I said, all right. And he said, why don't you come up and take a look at it, see if we can work something out. I said, okay. So a couple of days later, I went out and I met with him, and we've gone back and forth a little bit. We ended up working out a deal because he was not ready to sell. So we ended up, it worked better for him to do like a lease to own deal.
Yeah.
Which worked for me because I don't have to worry about a bank right now. I don't have to worry about down payment right now. He's a great guy. I actually think that he was happy that there was a young business owner that was going to be taking it over and growing a company there, and that it was going to the right hand. He did not. He bought it. He did a lot of work in there, but the company that owned it before him actually built it.
Okay.
But I think that he liked that. He liked that he didn't have to go through an agent. He didn't have to, I just came to him, right? So we went back and forth. The attorneys tried to make it more complicated than it needed to be, per usual. But we were able to negotiate that away and basically took everything that one of the attorneys did and threw it in the trash and started over again. But he's super reasonable, wanted to work with me, understood my concerns about some of the stuff that the attorney wanted to add in there. And end of the story, we came up with a great deal for both of us. It is a lease to own deal, but with a 5-year balloon.
And so hold your end of the deal, you'll be good.
Yep.
You don't hold your end of the deal, he'll be good.
He'll be good. Yeah. But it's exciting because it's ours. It's my building to do whatever I want with.
Right, because you've never owned your own building for the business. Right?
Correct.
Yeah, even if you were to move and lose, let's just say you lost 25% of your business. It's worth it.
And it wouldn't ever be anywhere near 25% of the total business because it could potentially be 25% of the tax business. I'm not going to lose. I feel comfortable in saying today, I will not lose any of my monthly bookkeeping, accounting, tax clients, right?
Right.
Because they don't really care where I'm at. I have a couple clients that'll come pick up paychecks here. They'll come to 910, or I'll meet them somewhere. One of my staff members will meet them somewhere. We'll work that out. I've had this discussion with them.
Deliver them, baby.
Yeah. There'd be a van on the road. I've had that discussion with a couple of people that do come here, and they're all like, hey man, this is great for you. This is great for your business. We don't care. And at the end of the day, it's 12 minutes from the front door here. So it's not that far. There will be some tax clients that are a little bit inconvenienced for it because you do have to go over the bridge. But you have to if you look at the greater Pittsburgh area as a whole, because our clients are all over it. I mean, I do have a good number of clients that are in the Oakmont, Verona area, but we're talking 10 minutes over the hill.
Once a year.
For
most of them. Yeah.
But I have clients that come from Canonsburg, Washington, PA. I have clients out on the other side of the state. I have clients that come from all over the greater Pittsburgh area. And that is a great centralized location because you get off 28, go up 910, you get off the turnpike, you go up 910, you got on Route 8, you come down 910. Saxonburg Boulevard down 910. So, I mean, it's a very good location. So I feel comfortable with that. There's also a lot of development happening on 910.
It's a great place for like dry clean drop lockers.
Yep. I'm working on that. There's a lot of development happening there.
Rose Ridge is going to change over to commercial or housing residential.
They're building housing there. So there's a lot of new customer base that'll be moving into 910 over the next few years that I'll be in the perfect location for. So very exciting. We were there today, kind of walking around, brainstorming. The one thing, and we talk about all the time, this podcast helps us kind of dial in for our own independent businesses, but I've given a lot of thought to this move. When we moved here, it happened in May, right after tax season. In fact, tax season got extended that year. So we moved during tax season. And it was like, hurry up, move all our shit, get set up. We got to get going. And I don't feel like we ever really got settled here. So it was always just kind of, I feel like we never really unpacked, right? In a lot of respects.
Living out of boxes.
Well, not to that extent, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? I didn't ever get that opportunity to lay out the office the best way to make my company run the most efficient way.
Right.
And I'm watching what you're doing with your new building.
Yeah, I've been walking around looking. I've been walking around acting like I'm pressing clothes and cleaning clothes, which I've changed my mind 1,000 times.
Taking your time and saying, okay, if we put this here, if we put that there, then this person has to take less steps. This is good here. And I'm taking the time over the next 2 months, because we have 2 months from the day we're filming this, that I want to be moved in there. So I'm taking my time and saying, okay, we're going to put this person here. We're going to put, a tax return assembly station here. The file room is going to be here. And we're going to make some changes and place people where they need to be, make it work, because at the end of the day, nobody knows my business like I do.
Right.
And knows how to be efficient with it and how inefficient it can be.
Or where it's headed. Like
right.
What the next step means.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I've got this vision of kind of how I'm doing it. So I'm trying to fine tune it. And I'm also at the same time, and we've talked about this a million times, that a business is only as strong as the systems and processes that it's in place. And a lot of times, we grew really fast and never really took the time. And it's this whole thing with, I've been working in my business, not on it, where I haven't developed step-by-step standard operating procedures. This is what we do. This is the steps that we take to do every piece, whether a client gets a letter, whether we're doing a tax return, whether we're processing payroll, whether we're doing monthly bookkeeping, whether we're onboarding a client, whatever we're doing, there should be a written down, documented step-by-step process on what we do and how we do it. And everybody needs to follow that to a T to my expectations. And sometimes, too often, in my opinion, we're not doing that. We're not delivering that. So a lot of times we're just putting fires out, trying to hurry up and get this done, trying to hurry up and get that done. Oh, shit, we never called that guy back. That kind of thing, where I'm going to take this opportunity to move into this place, set it up as a finely tuned machine with perfectly documented standard operating procedures so that everything we're doing, there's never a, hey, this client called, they got this letter, what do we do? You know what to do.
Yeah.
It's on this document.
You have 6 months.
This is the step-by-step direction. Do it.
Yeah.
So I have 2 months.
2 months to move, and then you'll have 6 months before
tax season. Yeah.
Be nice.
So we're working all those out. I was just on an airplane. I went down to Florida to visit a good buddy of mine.
Fucking guy lives the life.
Yeah. Well, it was just a long weekend.
Drives up to Lambeau Field.
But we
flies to Miami.
Melbourne.
Sorry.
Australia.
But we flew Allegiant, and Allegiant sucks. It has no Wi-Fi. So I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do here. But so I downloaded a podcast before we took off. I'm like, oh shit, there's no Wi-Fi. I got to hurry up and turn off airplane mode, download a podcast. But I'm sitting there listening to this podcast, and I thought, I'm going to start. So I literally opened up notes on my phone and just said, okay, if a client does this, we're going to do this, and then we're going to do that, and then we're going to do this. And I put together what turned out to be, once I brought it home and printed it out, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is like 8 pages long of step-by-step procedures.
If my boss comes with me with this shit, I'm quitting.
But it's, and I came home, I sent it to a couple of my employees, and I said, hey, I did this on the plane. What do you think? What am I missing? Everybody's excited to have that direction.
I thought you were going to tell me it was like Christmas Story, like, hey, plus.
No.
And you woke up and your employees were like, fuck you.
Fuck you, I quit. No, I think everybody's hoping to get that more structured approach so that we are all delivering the same, and we're not, because what ends up happening is that we end up trying to fix shit. And it's always the key employees that are trying to fix something, like, hey, I need you to go in here and do this. Well, it's not really your responsibility or your job. You don't ever deal with this, but you know how to fix it. I need you to hurry up and fix it.
Everybody wants to know what their day looks like before their day starts.
Yeah. And it becomes stressful. And I think I don't, it's a fault of mine. I don't always think about the stress that my employees also have. But, I have some employees that take this really seriously, and I'm very blessed for that. So I think, I went on that motorcycle trip, and I was in fucking panic mode for like 3 weeks before. Like, I don't know how I'm going on this trip.
You didn't even answer my phone call on that trip.
I couldn't catch up with enough stuff to feel comfortable. And literally until like 2 days before, I worked. It was Friday before I left Tuesday. Friday before, I worked here until about 11 o'clock at night, and I worked a few hours on Sunday morning just to make sure I got enough done that I was like, okay.
All right, I'm going to put my therapy hat on. How much of that is you justifying yourself inside of your business? Because I'm guilty of it. I would say in my case, I will stay, if I, say I know I'm going golfing on Friday for a golf outing, I will stay Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday night late.
Yeah, so I think a lot of it is that on a typical trip. This one trip, I had a client that is a very large client that we have his returns on.
Oh, yeah.
Extension, and he really wanted them done. And I felt like if I told him, hey, we're still in extension, I'm not done yet, but I'll see you in 6 days when I get back from this motorcycle trip, may have caused an issue. So it was like, I have to get this shit done.
Yeah.
But the problem that I have is it's not those clients that are the problem. It's how I end up burying myself in day-to-day things that I don't need to be doing that keep me off topic so that I don't take the time to do those things.
It's very relatable with like my front counter, in retail space. I have people walk in all day and be like, is Joe here? Or, hey man. And like, I'm in a small spot. So like they'll see me and I'll make eye contact.
You're fucked.
And I'm fucked. I got to go talk to him. I got to go say, hey, at least.
On this office.
And like, there's just like no way out from it. And I was thinking about it not too long ago. If like I do that 10 times a day for 15 minutes.
150 minutes a day.
Yeah. It's 2 hours of my day is fucked.
Yeah.
And like, and the worst part about like a lot of our equipment, when it shuts off or starts or ends its loads, it beeps. So now I'm at the counter talking to somebody. Beep. I can hear the dry cleaning machine beeping in the background that needs to be hung up. It's an hour and 10 minutes for a load. So now I need to get the next load in. So now I'm 10 minutes late there, 20 minutes late getting it started. And at the end of the day, I'm standing there watching a dry cleaning machine run. And I'm like, this is all because of fucking Tom Smith came in. Yeah. That motherfucker can go away tomorrow. Yeah. And the problem is those people are the polite people. They're usually retired guys, come in with their 3 shirts, spend their, $120 a year.
Yeah.
And I'm letting things, like you said, missed phone calls go through the cracks, not responding to emails, because I am not, I'm at a point now in my life, like when it's done, I'm done for the day. I'm shutting it down. I need to. Like
I feel you, dude.
I can't lose my wife and kids because of this.
My office is a glass box.
Right.
Yeah. I can't hide. The new office.
It's not going to be set up that way.
It's not.
When you got here, when you moved in, you were probably like, oh, this is awesome.
I can see everything.
The problem is they can see in.
Yeah.
So it's never like, hey, is Jerry busy? It's
he's right there.
Well, I thought about doing that, and then I decided I was moving, so I'm like,
right. And the other thing I realized with my business specifically is the point of sale system is set up to operate my business.
Yeah.
Like I have had employees that I have had faith in to operate my business, and it just missed the mark because I'm paying them an exorbitant salary and I'm still doing the things I'm doing. And then I dive back into the software that I've had for 7 years now. And I'm like, it'll do that automatically. All you have to do is schedule it. It takes care of it. So then like in the mornings, I'm jossing to like get the truck figured out. And then I'm like, well, what if I click on this button? I'm like, oh, the point of sale does that.
Yeah.
So then billing's a contention of mine. I'm always like late billing, which sucks. It's like the most important part isn't even getting the work done. It's getting paid for the work you've already done.
Yep.
But like at the end of the day, I always have felt like if people owe me money, I'm okay. Like as long as they owe me money.
Invoices are out.
Problem is when you get 6 months past due and now you're calling somebody that hasn't used you in 5 months.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck's this for?
Right.
I'm like, that's for that rug I did in April.
Yeah. I have that bad habit too. And then I'll send an invoice to a client for 3 months and they're like, what the fuck?
Well, that's, I'm one of those people. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Jerry, you fucking raised your prices through the roof.
Sorry.
He's like, that's from last year.
So I'm starting, I actually implemented a couple months ago. My accounting system now automatically sends out bills every first of the month.
Right.
Sends them out.
Back to my point of sale. So what we used to do is like go through the list and be like, customer 1 through 58, pick up their clothes, charge it like each individual customer, charge their credit card, email them a receipt. So I'm like, there has to be an easier way. So I called the point of sale company and they're like, you see that little button up top that says auto pay? They were like, click on that one time. And I click on it. It was like, do you want to auto pay all the Monday route customers? Yes or no? I hit yes.
And it did it.
Sends email receipts to everybody. And it is done in like 9 seconds.
Yeah.
And then then I get a report, all the decline cards.
Yep.
Do you want to send out a message saying that your card's been declined? Yes.
Done.
Like it took a 2-hour job at night at my island.
Yeah.
Going through. And I'm like, man, trust the system. They have a system.
You guys are talking about time management, basically, which is critical to every business. So
it is.
It's almost a new thing I see
especially with us having families and everything else going on.
You ever see the ad that's like, what's a billionaire do with this? And it's an iPad and they flip it around and they have like AI like scheduling.
Yeah.
I've seen that 1,000 times since it reads my mind.
Dude, I just set up a program. Do you send out emails and stuff, newsletter emails and shit?
I don't. I should.
Yeah. That's always been me, right? I have all my clients' email addresses.
Yeah. MailChimp them out.
Right. So I had an account with SendGrid, and I usually do it like twice a year for some random bullshit, right? Never really did it consistently or anything like that. I got a cold call from some software company. I want to talk to you about...
Fuck you.
Well, at first, I'm like, yeah, I don't have time for this.
Fucking guy.
He started talking to me about it a little bit. Looked at the website. I'm like, this is actually kind of cool. I'm like, all right, listen, I'll give you the call. Like, let's set up a call, give you half an hour. We'll talk. He's like, okay. So I set it up thinking, I'm not buying this shit, but I'll let this dude take a half an hour of my time. Yeah, I bought it.
You should hire that guy. Where the fuck's he at?
The fucking program's pretty badass.
We'll call him up.
Let's
get him on the show. I'll hire him tomorrow.
it has, not only does it do the email marketing, it also links to all your social medias. It also has text messaging. It also eliminated, I use Calendly for my calendar app so people can schedule their own appointments. It does that too, so I could eliminate Calendly. Integrates all of it. And then it has an AI tool where it gives you thousands of recommended, like, hey, why don't you send this out? Hey, this came in the news. Why don't you send this out? It's all pre-done. Sweet. And then you just set up a calendar. So I spent some time today. I had another training call. And we kind of went through it. And like, I just scheduled out like a month worth of social media posts that are all topic related. I even have it set up because, you know, I take all that data from my tax software, right? Because I have your name and your email address and your cell phone number and your date of birth. Really all I need, right? I'm not sending your data anywhere, but just information, right? It knows, it's like, hey, you have all these people's birthdays. Why don't you click this automation and we'll send an email every time your client has a birthday. Happy birthday from Landmark Business Solutions.
You should have never said that. You should have said, I do that. My personal touch. I send out happy birthdays.
Hopefully they don't all listen. But
Jerry will be on Cameo.
But it's cool. It sends you like, and it has all these like cool templates and like kind of cute little birthday emails. And you just say, automate every time I have a client that's birthday at 9 a.m. that day, they're going to get an email from me. And the nice thing about it is it's not like a spammy looking email from like MailChimp. It actually integrates with Google Workplace, which is what I use my email. It has my regular email signature in it, and it comes from Jerry at landmark-business.com. The email looks like I typed up an email and said happy birthday.
I want a card in the mail.
Dude, they do that.
Yeah.
This company does that too. I can set it up, but it's like $4 a card. I'm like, it's
$4, dude.
Yeah.
Send me one card.
2,000 cards.
$4 every day.
Well, I think that's like part of like, you know, when you start your business, and you're probably at this like phase with like working, like it's exciting to like post.
Yeah.
And like make your post. And like, I'm doing this and I'm doing this. But you're going to get to a point where you're like,
no, it's,
you're going to look at your Instagram one day and you're going to be like, I haven't posted anything in fucking 18 months. And it's like it happens fast. Like I remember I'd be like pressing a fucking jacket and I'd be like, oh dude, this looks sweet. I'm going to post it. And then like,
look at this outlet.
Then there was 200 fucking jackets in the line, and I'm like, I don't even have time to take a picture of that 100%. Jacket. Dude, I had pictures on my Instagram. From, like I'm wearing St. Patrick's Day green, taking pictures. Like, and then it just
you don't have time.
Not only the time, I think the other part of it. While we're being honest on here, I think that you always feel like the next post is going to be the one that makes your business pop. You know?
Yeah.
But then it never comes. And then you're like, well, then what the fuck? I'll just keep pressing these 200 codes and make my $2,000 and go home.
Yeah.
So the way that that's all like incorporated, funny enough, my point of sale company has a marketing campaign that you can run.
Yeah.
And they'll do all this. And I'm like, what would it cost me time, energy, you know, say they're saying $500 a month. So rather than me trying to come up with a cheesy one-liner post for Instagram, if I just pay them the $500 or all the ideas I had that I didn't send that could have got me business, can this generate me $500? Because then it's a wash.
Right.
And then anything over that $500, this has become a really good investment.
Yeah. I think a lot of it is not necessarily, and I think that eventually there are campaigns in here that I can set up to generate revenue, right? So I can set up a campaign that's to automatically go out to my tax clients, and then I can filter it out where I can send it to only tax clients that have rental property or any tax clients that are sole proprietor business owners or whatever, where I can target them and say, hey, you have a business. It's October. We should set up a tax planning appointment.
Right. Or you have an appointment next Tuesday.
It'll do all that too.
And that goes back to like my missed pickups.
Yeah.
So my dentist, and I'm going to give him a straight shout out because he's got me looking the best I've ever looked. So,
with them teeth.
Yeah, with these chompers. They opened a place. It's called the Smile Warehouse. It's in the Strip District, right next to the cigar factory.
They sell smiles,
dude. Actually, I was there Friday for the first time in their new office, just for like a cleaning. Shout out, no cavities. # first time in 40 years.
Do they have to go in, or do you just take them out and hand them?
No, these are in there, baby. The only way they're coming out is with a right hook. So what's funny is, like, you know, you're thinking dentist office, right?
Yeah.
This would be a hip looking dentist office.
Sure.
Dude, you walk into this place, my jaw was like, what am I walking in? Like, this dude nailed it. It looks like LA style. Like, he's got like the tooth bar in the corner with like waters and refreshments.
Oh.
They have like a whole like window outlooking on the strip to like plug and charge in your phones. Everything's glass, like frosted. I mean, shout out to what he did there. I'm like still floored. Like, I'm like excited to go back. And this dude, Dr. Hayner, he just fucking killed it. And I don't know if this is public knowledge, but he texts me like to check up on me. Like, we kind of have a relationship outside of the dentist office. But you ever see like the emoji where like you can click on it and then you can nickname yourself underneath it?
No.
So like when you share your contact, like old school, like you put his was shared to me via text message, like maybe Dr. Hayner.
Yeah.
So then I just saved it that way. And underneath his picture, it says the tooth god. So I think that he killed it with his space.
That's
and like,
interesting.
It's fun to look at like other businesses now that we're in this phase. And I'm like, well, I need to step my fucking game up. Like this, I can't just insulate the pipes. I got to really like do it right.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a whole thing to it where you not only, you want to impress the clients that come, you know, your space is not going to be open for public, but is it?
No, but it will.
You'll have people there. You want to make it look nice for a customer. You want to make it, you know, cool and trendy, inviting, but you want to make it comfortable and inviting for your employees. You want them to feel comfortable and happy coming there. And, you know, a dingy old office with dingy old carpet, paneling on the walls or whatever is not that place. And
yeah, that goes, like, I know we didn't like it. We talked about it like episode 1 about fake it until you make it. That goes like with that principle to me. It's like you need to have it there for someone to make it. So like, even if they don't feel like they're the best accountant in the world and they're coming to work for you, if they walk into somewhere where they need to bring their A game every day, they're going to bring it. You know, like,
and as far as the customer facing thing, I think we're beyond the point where we're faking it. We want to make sure that you have to portray that success.
Well, you got to hire the best. And when you're going to hire the best, you can't bring them into like, just even your office in Oakmont. Great space. You guys had it clean. It was small.
It was small.
It was up a flight of stairs. It was dated. So now you got a guy that wants to work in an accounting firm. He's a stud. You know he's a stud.
Yeah. He doesn't want to work there.
Doesn't want to work there. But you put him in that glass office in the front.
Yeah, exactly.
He can IG from his like baller, you know. You see it with these pyramid companies and these insurance companies.
Oh yeah.
They build this flashy like mirage of like you could be.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not going to do that in my business. I mean, it is what it is with my employees, but I want it to be safe.
Yep.
I want it to be bright and clean, and I want them to take pride in where they're working, because what happens with that is they keep their stations clean.
Yep.
They do their shit right. They treat your clothes better.
Yep.
So right now we got everything broken, fucking dirt everywhere.
Yeah.
Pads and covers. Like, we look like we're a day away from going out of business in my shop right now.
Yeah.
Because we are 29 days away from moving. So like, it's a weird,
a little hectic.
Yeah. It's, and like, I hate living like this right now. Like the stress is, so I removed the chiller from the dry cleaning machine, which helps it run. And you can run off of regular city water coming in. It just costs you more money. Well, you can, unless it's 94 fucking degrees outside, and then the water coming into your building isn't 68 like it is normally. My water coming into my building is 80 degrees. So like, I can't, it's just like every fucking 5 minutes, water, feed air, every other 10 minutes, high refrigeration, it kicks. I gotta go hit the button. I'm like, dude, I'm living like a crackhead right now. I'm like, can you evict me? I mean, I wish they would have came today and be like, where's someone's moving in tomorrow?
Yeah.
So, but you were saying about the space, it needs to be right. It got to fit like I never thought about that until now. Like, well, not right now, but in the last year, like, you know, like a chef has to have the right pots and pans, and we do a lot of chef coats because they take pride in the way they look.
Fucking right.
You know,
a good chef and a good restaurant. You ever watch Bear? You ever watch The Bear?
No.
It's on Hulu. Great show. Do you watch it?
I've seen it. Yeah.
It's the guy. You ever watch Shameless?
Yeah.
Lip.
Yep.
It's him. He's the executive chef. It's fucking great.
It's probably why I didn't watch it, because like Lip's typecasted.
He is. He's still like just a miserable
prick.
He is. He's the same character.
Drunk.
He's just not broke.
Does he drink?
I think he goes to like AA or something, doesn't he? I think he deals with addiction.
Yeah.
He deals with some sort of addiction. But I don't think he drinks on the show. I think that's part of it though.
Yeah.
But they show how much like you take pride in that. Like after a service, they're literally on their hands and knees scrubbing the floor with fucking toothbrushes and like scrubbing the shit out of everything.
Business, man.
Yeah.
We had my newspaper article, but like 2 months ago, I do the chef coats for a local country club, and they were having like a charity dinner at the country club, and they took a picture of the chef, and like, he's wearing. I know that I do a chef coats. He's wearing my product. Nobody else knows. I know, and he looks fucking good. And I let him know, and I let him know when I saw him the next time. I said, "Hey, that article that came out." I said, "Did you put a fresh one on?" He goes, "No, dude, I always look good." I'm like, "What's up?" Like that's what we do it for. Yep. I mean, the money will follow. If you do it for that, everything else will follow.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to bring to note tonight was, so Jerry is my lawyer. We've confirmed that.
Lawyer?
Or I mean, my accountant.
Yeah, I was just saying, he got a degree.
He introduced me to my lawyer, I think.
I did, yeah.
So he's in Cheswick. I'm in Cheswick. We got to get my lawyer to come to Cheswick.
Yeah.
How are we going to pull that one off?
I don't know. I don't have any more room in this office.
Come on.
You know, I don't. It's funny. We went there today, and it's like probably about 1,600 square feet bigger than what I have here. But it's all broken up into offices, and the offices are all pretty big.
Mm.
So it's like, where am I going to put everybody? So we like try to figure it out. We're gonna move some stuff around,
fire some people,
and not know he's getting fired.
Can't say that. Can't say bomb on a plane.
Yeah, but I can't say we're going to relocate walls or anything like that. So we're only going to be painting at this place.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm only painting at my new place too.
Right,
now.
Just painting.
We're in the painting phases of.
Yeah.
But you know that sometimes it's best to dig 8 foot down and paint from there up.
Yeah, it is. It's good. That's how you do it right.
Yeah. You're really going to care about the place. You got to lay a good foundation.
And our listeners are probably thinking, well, where are they going to do the podcast?
Yeah, that's
the main.
That is probably the
concern.
Only thing anybody's really concerned about.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to say that this office is going to have a dedicated podcast studio.
What?
It's not going to be a podcast studio / conference room / lunchroom like here.
It's.
I thought this was a beer garden.
It's that too. We are going to have a room in the office that is 100% specifically purpose-built podcast studio.
And come and get it.
Conveniently enough, it's not only going to be built for our podcast,
but we will be able to offer it out to others.
Right. It'll be a professional space.
Business opportunity.
And if you are on the brink of releasing a multi-million-dollar record album, you could record in this studio.
Probably,
too.
Yeah. We'll have it set up with mics and sound deadening materials. And
I'll call Taylor.
T-Swift.
Yeah.
Trailer Swift.
See if she wants to stop by.
So I big fan of Key West, as you guys know. There's a walk-in cooler right on the ocean in Key West that is called Shrimp Boat Sound.
Okay.
It's where the shrimp boats used to unload, and it was Jimmy Buffett's recording studio.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So maybe we'll get a picture of that and hang it in our
shrimp.
We'll have to get some stuff. We're gonna have to decorate it up real nice, but I don't know. I have some ideas popping in my head. We'll kind of sit down and figure it out. But there will be a new studio within the next couple months. That's going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll paint it all red like Rogan's studio. Remember, do you watch Rogan's podcast?
The dark red.
The dark red.
The dark red.
In, like the limbo when he first moved to Austin, they had like the spaceship looking one.
Yeah.
So no, we're not going to do that.
You're eyeing in October
1st.
And we're obviously going to build out the landmark side of it before we build out the
podcast studio.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be kind of simultaneous, I think.
Okay. So we got October. I was thinking maybe we wait to name the podcast studio until after the election. We could call it Harris or Trump Sound Studio. So there's a lot riding on this election, boys and girls.
There's a lot. I am going to have a hard time naming that after one of those people. But,
yeah, no.
Did you see? So obviously, we haven't actually brought up any of the crazy.
Yeah,
you want to tee it up?
I am.
Wait. Let's I gotta piss.
Okay.
Let's tee it up after I piss.
Okay. All right, bathroom break.
Because this might be like a minute, or this could be a whole other fucking episode.
And now a brief word from our sponsor.
This episode of Between Two Bridges is sponsored by Paymark Payroll. Are you tired of spending countless hours juggling payroll calculations, tax filings, and compliance regulations? Well, say goodbye to that chore and let Paymark Payroll take the burden off your shoulders. With our secure online portal, you can access your business information from any internet location, even your phone. Employees will love the ability to receive direct deposits, and they can access all their pay stubs, tax forms, and information through their own portal. Focus on growing your business while we take care of the rest. With top-notch customer support, we're always here to assist you with anything, at any time. Don't let payroll stress hold you back. Choose Paymark Payroll and experience the freedom to thrive. Contact us at payyourpeople.com for a personalized consultation and a demonstration of our powerful payroll solutions, and see how Paymark Payroll can better your workflow. That's payyourpeople.com. Join the growing list of satisfied businesses that have embraced the convenience and efficiency of Paymark. Payday made easy. Your business deserves nothing less than the best, and that's exactly what Paymark Payroll delivers. Now back to the show.
Joe, you ever been to Butler?
Called that one.
I think,
I've been there.
Clark's, is it the big Butler Fair or Fayette County Fair?
They're the Fayette County Fair. Yeah. Butler.
Those are farm grounds, right?
Yeah, the farm
show.
The farm show grounds is like an actual old school, hillbilly thing. Not to make fun of hillbillies, but like they show off their pigs. They have auctions there.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's no longer known for the 110 years of commerce done inside those grounds. It's known for something else. What happened there, Jerry?
So I'll start this. We try not to get super political, but I think that we can have a political discussion because
an assassination attempt on a former president.
And I would think that this is all something we can all kind of agree on, except for the people maybe extreme on both sides. But I think we should try to get back to a point where we can all have civil discussions about some things. We are allowed to have difference of opinions without alienating and losing customers and things like that. But yeah, so we have not talked about it on a podcast yet. We have released a couple episodes since it, and our viewers are probably like, you're not even going to fucking talk about it.
We're just not timed up right.
So here we are. So, I don't know what's the date. What was the date?
13th.
July 3rd it happened, right?
No, 13th.
13th, yeah.
Was Fed's wedding the 13th?
That's right.
So I was watching Our Destiny walk down the aisle when I heard
ping, ping.
Yeah, so
ping.
Former President Trump was at a campaign rally at the Butler Farm Show. I think it's the second one he's done there. I think he did one back in 2020 as well.
Comes here often.
Yep. And
he'll be back,
he brings in a very large crowd. Butler is Trump country.
It is Trump country. Anything above,
I think anywhere outside of Allegheny County.
Yeah, as soon as you get above 910 on Route 8, you are in
Trump country.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was on stage speaking, and a young man from Bethel Park decided somehow he outsmarted Secret
Hundreds
Service
of years of training
and climbed a building with a rifle and was able to get several shots off at the president, hitting him in the ear.
I'm not a roofer, but he was on a very non-sloped roof. It was like a 112 pitch.
Yeah. It was walkable.
It was wheelchairable,
you
actually.
You could get a rascal across that.
ADA compliant roof.
Yeah, an ADA compliant ramp is
I want to start this whole thing with at no time can you buy a rifle without a background check. I've seen a lot of misinformation about you can go get this at Walmart. Every time I've bought a weapon, I have several, I've gone through a background check.
So I
don't care if you're liberal, Republican, deaf, whatever, you have to have a background check to get a weapon. I'm so tired of seeing people say, we need stricter laws. And
well, I don't want to blow it up, but I will tell you this.
Go ahead.
To buy a long rifle, if I own it and I sell it to you,
you can private sell it.
You do not.
That's different.
That's different. So
private selling is different.
Sell a long gun.
They're saying he bought this gun online, right?
No, I heard that his dad bought it.
My point is still valid.
His dad bought it.
My point is still valid.
And gave it to him.
First time owner of the weapon.
Right. But he was 20.
I'm just tired of seeing posts from people that have never owned a weapon.
They don't understand the process.
You can't go to Giant Eagle and buy a fucking firearm.
And the gun show loophole is misunderstood too. Everybody thinks, well, you just go to gun show and buy it. No, the gun show loophole, what they're talking about is a straw purchase. It's a felony. There's what the loophole, quote unquote loophole is that I go into the gun show as a law-abiding, clean background check citizen. I buy the gun, go through the background check, walk out of the parking lot, and sell it to a guy on the street.
That's illegal.
It's illegal. It's
they
a
ask
straw
you
purchase.
that.
It's a felony.
Question number 2, 6,
you cannot buy your spouse a gun. I cannot go to Dunham's or Dick's and say, this is for my wife. That's illegal.
Right.
So now that we've established that
you can't change good laws to make them better.
False information.
Yeah.
Anyways, please continue.
So he took shots off. He got shots off.
Wait, back to that. One of the things that pisses me off too about that is they'll just immediately be like, it was an AR.
Yeah,
it was an AR-15.
Right.
And everybody thinks that stands for like assault rifle. But
it's Armalite.
Yeah. And it's a brand of a guy that made one that was not wood grain, that was black.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the weapon.
To ban AR.
I have a very tan, Leighton Keller, non-AR looking 338 Lupuau that would have ended the president's fucking life and took the 2 guys out on the roof before anybody knew what fucking happened.
Yeah.
It's 150 yards, guys.
But you would not.
I have a 22 at my house
not get canceled.
and that will fucking shoot the president from 100 yards.
150
yards is
chip
nothing.
Shot. 150 yards is a chip shot. I saw it in
I also said...
Here we go.
You cannot just roll off your couch and hit a 150-yard shot.
No.
You need to have some type of wherewithal.
And I heard he had iron sights. He didn't even have a scope. I heard he was firing off iron sights.
I didn't see the actual
that's probably why
he had a fucking rangefinder.
I see a lot of people on Twitter that I know have not shot guns be like, I could do that in my sleep. No, you're not.
The first thing that happens when you hand somebody that's never dealt with guns a gun before,
they're missing by
their fear
feet.
Factor, their anxiety, immediately it builds up.
And imagine the anxiety because as all the facts are starting to trickle in, I don't know if we'll ever get all of them. He was confronted by a police officer. One cop hoisted another cop up to see over the roof.
I did see it.
And he turned and pointed the gun at him, and that cop went, oh, and fell. So then he turned around and within seconds took the shots. So he was under pressure.
Yeah.
He was at 150 yards. He was not a good shot, clearly. He
was damn close.
He was damn close. And here's the other thing, too, you have to remember.
He was on iron sights. He was damn close.
You had to know.
Once the first shot goes, you're dead.
You're dead.
I had a dear friend that lived in Washington, D.C. He said any president.
Deer?
No, a dear friend.
D-A-R.
He also liked deer.
Yeah.
He said that at any point in his 15-year history living in D.C., he could have killed any president he wanted to. You just have to be willing to die for it.
You got to die. Yeah. And so that kid knew he was dead. He had a time. He was under pressure, and he knew that at any second somebody was going to split his skull open. Any second. So the fact that he was even that close. But the unfortunate thing is, somebody was killed.
Yeah, no, that's the
Two
part
other
that
people
sucks.
were severely injured.
Are they okay?
From what I understand, they're recovering and they're okay. They're home, but they were critically injured. And the president took a shot to the ear. Fortunately, he moved his head at the split second before, or else he would be dead as well.
Yeah, one of the things I wanted to know from the beginning when I heard that the gentleman that was deceased, I wanted to know where his proximity was to the president. And that took me a lot of digging. I actually saw it. I mean, it's probably available now, but like I actually saw it in like Japanese diagrams before I saw it here.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was 150 yards. There's so much to this that there are a ton of conspiracy theories. There's a lot of unanswered questions. Whether or not he had help, whether or not
it's almost like the modern day JFK.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. Because now there's a grassy knoll,
right? And someone went down
job.
Yeah, someone went down low grade road in a fucking black
We'll put you guys on the record. Do you think it was just that kid, or do you think this was an inside job?
I
think it's an inside job.
I don't think that.
I don't know if it's an inside job.
That the incompetence is that
Butler, dude.
bad, but it's not. It's Secret Service,
FBI,
it's
Homeland
FBI,
Security.
it's the state police.
So
let's circle back.
Of different people there that all had to fuck up bad.
Yeah, well, they did.
Let's circle back. Do you think that you could take a .22 rifle into a Clark's concert at the Fayette fucking County Fair?
Yes.
Do you think you could get in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think you could walk in the front?
I think I'd get into Star Lake with a gun.
You do?
I think I'd get into Kennywood. I think I could get into the convention center.
People do it all the time.
Yeah. What are you saying?
I just don't think that's plausible. I
Why?
don't know that many people.
I think you're putting too much faith in people that...
What scares me, though, is that this kid had no military training, no police training, no...
Well, 38 Special, I get. You can walk in with it on... but a long rifle.
It's an open environment.
I guess people are more shocked.
How imagine
you're allowed to have your. I just think he got lucky enough to take that shot.
Imagine if somebody with military training,
he'd be dead.
He'd be dead.
We'd have a whole different conversation.
Yeah,
today.
I mean, if he would have moved an inch to the right, we're having that conversation.
Yeah.
Do you think if he moves an inch to the right, Biden's still running for president, or do they file that he's incompetent?
I don't think he was ever going to run.
I do. I think that I don't know that. I'm not going to sit here and say that Biden was an accomplice and Biden knew and the campaign knew and they were just waiting to see if this actually worked out. I don't think
that would change that would change the demographic of our podcast in a instant.
I don't think that that's where we're at here.
Well, what do you
think though that
I think the poll climbed too high. I think the separation became too great.
I think that if Trump was out of the picture right now, I don't think there would have been as much pressure on Biden to step down. I think that Biden, so there's so much going on. We have to unravel so much here.
Right.
Okay, so let's just go through the timeline.
We're talking about guns. Are we talking about dementia?
We talking about the Pirates, the trade deadline under pressure.
Let's talk
about
the
trade for Joe Biden.
Let's talk about the timeline of what's happened over the last 3 or 4 weeks. Okay. So first of all, Biden is severely behind in the polls. He had that debate. He showed to the entire world that he is not fit, not only to run for president, but let's just face facts. I don't know how, if he's not capable of running, why is he still the president? Why are we okay with that?
And this, boys and girls, is when you go from beer
to bourbon. So let's just go through the timeline. Okay, so we have the debate.
Sure.
He
bombed it. Everyone can agree that
it was
red
horrible.
or blue, he bombed.
I mean, you could watch the most left-wing news outlet the night after that debate, and they
not
were
just
like,
him.
he's got to step down.
I do think he can be capable of retiring on his terms.
Well, and let's not just look one-sided here.
Look,
in that debate, our 2 presidential candidates embarrassed America.
They did.
With one little conversation about a fucking golf score.
Which they won't do on television.
Right.
Which is ridiculous.
They embarrassed our country and they've said to the world, we are never been more out of touch with reality than we are right now.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So, timeline.
Yes.
Okay. So he bombs the debate.
Yep.
A couple weeks later, assassination attempt. Trump gets hit, survives, has one of the most monumental photo ops in American history.
It is a good photo.
And not just a photo op, because there's people that are like, oh, it's just a photo op, or, he capitalized on that. But like or hate Trump, he took fire.
And didn't cower.
Wanted his shoes, and then realized that the people around him didn't run. They ducked, and they were concerned about him. Is he alive? So he had the wherewithal and the leadership to stop, put his fist up, and yell, fight, to tell the crowd, I'm okay.
Just like any athlete that gets stretchered off.
100%. It's just like the football player that's in a neck brace, getting carted off, giving the thumbs up.
Just that's what everybody knows.
He gave one of these. He told the crowd, he told the world, I'm okay.
Right.
The New York Times photographer captured a photo of it. Everybody's seen it. It's all over the place.
I heard this, and this might be true or not, but the same guy that took that picture took the picture of George Bush at the elementary school.
When he got news about 9/11. He
That's
just happened to be there too. But
hey, that guy's photographer, they just fucking show up.
That guy's been in the business. I watched a podcast. They interviewed that guy, and he's been doing this kind of work for 40 years. Nice. And he knew he was in front of the podium when it happened. He also, being 40 years in the business, had the wherewithal to realize the escape route for him is those stairs. That's the only way off this stage, and his escape is right behind here. I need to get my ass to those stairs.
Yeah, so he's 2 for 40.
So he immediately went to the stairs and shot up. That's how he was able to capture that. He's also the photographer that happened to capture the picture of the bullet. Did you see that picture?
No.
There's a picture of Trump right before he realized he got hit, where you can see the bullet passing his head. And it just so happened that he was in front of the Trump taking rapid photos. And when he was working on the photos later, he's going through them frame by frame. Now these cameras will take fucking thousands of pictures,
They will overheat, but
they'll put it in the freezer. But he happened to realize that one of them had a streak right behind his ear. It was a fucking bullet. He got extremely lucky, ended up with one of the most historic pictures that will be in textbooks for the rest of time.
Well, not textbooks. They ain't putting that shit in schools.
It'll be in textbooks. I'm telling you, this is all historic, especially this timeline. So after that happens, the country came together for about 2 days where they were all like, hey, listen, there's a lot of hateful rhetoric going on both sides. There's a lot of, he's Hitler. He's the new Hitler. He's a threat to democracy. He's got to be just stopped. There was actually a call that was publicized that Biden made to his supporters about how I'm done talking about the debate. It's time to put Trump in the crosshairs. Crosshairs or the target or something like that. Bullseye. Or whatever it is.
It might have been the bullseye, yeah.
Whatever he said, it was like, ugh, and that was like right before this happened. So there's a lot of, and it's not just the left. I mean, there's a lot of hateful rhetoric going back and forth. So I think everybody was like, hey, listen, we need to come together. This isn't, we got to stop this. That lasted about 2.5 days. Then Biden was in Las Vegas at a Mexican restaurant and was shuffled off on without any sort of
caught the
whatever.
vid.
Supposedly he had coronavirus, he had COVID. I don't know if I'd buy it. Anyway, he was shuffled out of this restaurant.
COVID champ, right?
It's a good thing you got those vaccines. It was
we're toast.
Yeah, we're toast. Anyway.
Listen, I lived in Vegas. I am not eating Mexican there. That's all.
Listen, there's a place in Vegas called Taco y Taco. Fucking awesome.
I mean,
5-star tacos are 5-star tacos.
It was great.
Okay.
Anyway, so
1-star
they shuffled him off in Air Force One. He flew back to Delaware and he disappeared.
He died
for like 4 days.
Yeah, then he grew 4 inches.
Nobody knew about it.
Oh, yeah, he grew. His finger changed.
There's so many
He's
conspiracies.
wearing a mask.
Let's get through the timeline.
All right.
So Biden's missing.
Reptile.
Nobody knows where he's at. There was actually legitimate people that were like, is he dead? Like, is he alive? What's going on?
And it's the tacos, dude.
Sunday,
Vegas tacos will kill you.
he posted on Twitter a letter.
Can we just say that man does not tweet?
Right. Stepping down.
All right. Establish that it is not him.
Stepping down as the nominee for the presidency.
And then he addresses
the letter. Hold on, we're not there yet. The letter, super sus. Okay, it's not on any sort of White House letterhead. It's not on any sort of Biden letterhead. It's more articulate than anything he's done in a long time. And the signature does not match any of the signatures on the last 5 executive orders that he signed. 100%, it's not his signature. Okay. Nobody has still seen Biden. He announces after...
Wait a second. At this point, what is the vice president's approval rating?
The worst in U.S. history.
Okay. Yeah. Proceed with the chlorophyll.
Yeah. So he doesn't sign this paper, resigns after spending almost 5 decades in political office, retires via a tweet with a signed letter that he didn't sign. So that amplified the I think Biden's dead theory.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Then he calls in, a call on a rally that Kamala Harris was having, and starts talking to Harris. Did you listen to that audio?
No, I'm in the dark about this.
Dude, it was fucking AI. I'm telling you, that wasn't him. He was more coherent and articulate than he has been in 4 years.
It was like barbecues for dinner.
Take that out of it. But if you listen to it.
Wait, was this before or after he stepped down?
This was right after he stepped down. This was like the Monday after.
I'm getting educated here.
On Monday or Tuesday. If you listen to it.
Sometimes
listen to the text.
Sometimes he doesn't.
Listen. If you listen to the dialogue.
Yes.
The way he goes from one sentence to the next sentence, it was not a human. Now, I've seen, listen, I'm telling you.
You're a smart man.
It was not
trying
him.
to reel you in a little bit.
They got him.
They got him.
They got Jerry all fucked up here.
There were several.
He's bought in.
There were several videos from
this is flagrant getting to you.
Legitimate people that there's a website where you can plug in audio.
If it's on the internet, it's got to be true.
You can plug in this audio.
Okay.
And it'll tell you whether or not it's AI or natural voice.
All right.
And it was rated a 98% chance it was AI.
Okay. I'm listening with my headphones off right now. I'm afraid you're
we need our foil hats. We need foil hats.
Yeah.
We should have started this episode with foil hats.
We should have.
Okay. This was not, he was not, I don't think necessarily he's dead. I'm not sure about the whole body double thing.
All right.
That was not him on
the phone. It was recorded in our new podcast.
A phone call.
Kamala accidentally, when she said, Joe, I want to get back to you. I know we still have you on the phone. I'm telling you that was not him. Anyway.
Okay.
The next day he has an appearance where he comes off Air Force One. There's a lot of speculation that wasn't him. He has appeared to grow 4 inches. If you look at pictures and videos of him standing next to Jill after this and before, it is kind of weird.
Well, the left will tell you that Trump lost his shoes in Butler. Maybe Biden found
he's
him.
Wearing heels.
Okay.
He does seem taller. He does seem to be getting around a lot better for an 81-year-old man.
Still spry.
You
ever feel the feeling when you leave a bad job? That feeling,
yeah,
it like reinvigorates you. He's like, "Fuck it, I'm out."
Hey, whatever they gave him to treat the COVID, maybe it made him grow 4 inches.
Steroids.
Hey, sweet. So the one thing though that's mind-boggling.
This is the kicker.
We at the end of the timeline here.
Yeah, we're getting to the end.
Okay,
we're here now.
This is
after we had a vice president with the worst approval rating in American history.
Mm.
She has been anointed
the chosen one.
And everybody's with her. And there has not been a single vote for her. The people that were screaming that Trump was a threat to democracy have completely worked around democracy and appointed a nominee to run for president on the Democratic ticket that has never earned a vote once.
Mm.
And because what? She comes out of the Attorney General's office of California, right?
Yeah, nobody seems
she was appointed.
She may have had an elected process there. She was a DA, right? I think she was a DA for a point. So yeah, but as far as she's never had a single delegate vote for her. The primary that she ran against Biden the last time.
She's never ran for small town mayor or
she never got anywhere when she ran on her own. And now all of a sudden we're just with her. There's a lot of heat because people on the right are calling her a DEI, hire. Listen, I don't know. This is a crazy time. Fucking crazy. As we record this, she seems to be the front runner. It is not guaranteed. I mean, she still has to go to the convention,
right?
Yeah,
the delegates still have the final vote.
Yeah.
But she has been anointed by the Obamas on a completely...
And the Clintons.
And the call, did you see the call whenever Biden or Obama, Michelle and Barack called her? And that wasn't staged at all. But it was, she's on speakerphone and they're like, we're so proud of you. I'm like, come on, man.
Like she got into Princeton or something.
Joe, do you have a rebuttal to this timeline?
It's fucked, man. I think I said months ago, I'd be surprised if either one of them are there for come the election.
Biden and Trump?
Yeah. Well,
we almost didn't have either of them.
Well, I'm half right now.
Yeah.
And I loved the...
I don't think if you're eligible for Social Security, you should be able to run for president.
Good point.
Yeah.
But the other thing that I thought of is my favorite point of the debate was whenever Trump said, hey, man, if you didn't do such a bad job, I wouldn't fucking be here. So I think this would be the ultimate Trump card, because remember, Trump card growing up was the Trump card, right?
Yeah.
The ultimate Trump card would be like,
I'm out.
He's out. I'm fucking out. Figure it the fuck out.
But then we're going to have two candidates running. Neither one of them have ever earned a vote.
And I think that the Republican campaign got a raw deal when they realized they thought they were running against Biden and Harris.
Yeah.
So they picked J.D. Vance. That was their running mate.
Yeah, I don't know a ton about J.D. Vance. I like the fact that he's 39.
He's 39. He's young. He has a history of being a hothead.
Yeah.
There's a lot out there.
And apparently he had sexual relations with a couch.
Good for him.
Did you see hear that?
That's probably why I'm not in the running.
He wrote a
book.
Not
that I'm a big couch guy, but
was it a lazy boy?
So he had a book. He wrote a book.
About this incident?
No. He wrote a book. The original release talked about how he was in a room with other veterans and had realized that everybody else in the room.
He's a vet.
He's
taken fire in a war zone.
He has, which is the only one of the group that has.
All right.
That everybody else in that room had also had sex with a couch.
The Marine thing, dude. Now, would never understand. Hoorah!
That was re-released.
Yeah, you get lonely.
And the new version of the book, the current copy you can go buy, that has been edited out. But the original copy, he basically admitted that he at one point had sex with a couch.
So not to relate that,
the media's all over that,
to being a parent, but I have a 5-year-old son. And do you think that I would want to go to him and be like, look, lock it up, dude. If you want to run for vice president, you got to start now.
And don't fuck the couch.
Yeah, don't fuck the couch. Don't strike out Timmy in baseball. Fucking straight. So all these people who should have a past.
Everybody got things.
If his past is fucking a couch,
I'm good with it.
I'm down with that.
Yeah,
but
at least it was consensual.
My early yeah, right. He didn't get a better job because he fucked the couch either. But his thing is like he's pretty chauvinistic. He's pretty fucking down on women.
Oh, really?
And he's pretty down on like a lot of things that are like homelandish. And I can like relate. I mean, we kind of had a little joke earlier, but like my father died young. I didn't have a father figure in my life. Your father left young. You didn't. So like you don't tie in that fatherly thing because you never had it. Well, his mother fucking traded him for pills. Right. And like went off the rails.
Yeah, he was raised by his grandparents or something, right?
Yeah. And his mom was a nurse, like successful nurse. And then
she was a drug addict.
Started getting into oxycodone. Like she wasn't just like shooting on.
Right.
Yeah. And then like he worked for the same company that like his mom was addicted to the pills. And then
he worked for
If you say it, I'll know it.
But the company that came out with Oxys. He worked for
Purdue Pharma.
Purdue Pharma.
And then when he started his Save the Flatland Society or whatever.
I'll go on record. I hate the Sackler family.
Oh, yeah. I don't think you're alone on that one.
They need put in jail.
I feel like they live in a Simpson home on top of a dark,
They got out of the
hill.
settlement. They haven't paid a single penny.
So he started this foundation to go help the people.
Right.
After he worked for Purdue Pharma.
That's cool.
Then he hired their therapist to go out and talk to the people that were hooked on their drug. And like, that's shit that like you can't forget. So like, I think he was, I think it was I think I've said this before on air, and I hope I did, because I felt like Trump's decision on vice president was the most important decision in America. And when I heard that it was J.D. Vance, I felt underwhelmed.
Yeah, I was worried.
I mean, he's better than Pence, though.
Yeah, I guess maybe
I think it's probably
today.
the same. I mean, it was a non-starter. I mean, I think there were way better options.
And there is audio of this dude calling Trump a complete fucking idiot.
Yeah, he was a never Trumper. He was a self-proclaimed never Trumper.
I mean, they all play that game,
right?
Though.
Yeah, but that's the problem.
All politicians to me are bullshit.
But that's the problem.
They just try to divide.
If you're draining the
people.
swamp and you want to do
it's
it
just the same old shit
his way, why bring somebody in that doesn't want to feel your way?
Well, maybe you could look at it as the devil's advocate, and that it's somebody that saw that, you know, he liked what he saw for 4 years and he thought, I want to get behind this guy or whatever. Or maybe he's just looking for the opportunity to run in 2028.
Yeah.
Well, that's brings us to another point. Like before that, he's like, maybe J.D. Vance is like Rocky, like, Adrian, I change, you can change, we can all change, you know, maybe he's a hoorah. Maybe. But that also brings us to the other part about everybody talking about Shapiro being a VP candidate for Harris.
Right.
It's like, do you really want to take your political chance right now and throw it with her? Or does Shapiro want to just sit in the waiting? He's got a good gig as governor in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. He's on a short list.
And he could be a presidential candidate if this doesn't work out in 4 years.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think there were better options as for VP. I was really hoping for Tulsi Gabbard, but she didn't even make it to the short list. I like Tulsi.
Well, I love the people that come out and was like, Gavin Newsom has to run with Kamala Harris.
But he can't.
They'd lose all the delegates.
All the electoral votes. Yeah. And not the delegates, the electoral votes
in California.
General, and for California.
Smoke them. They'd lose.
But that's also why a lot of people wanted Trump to get DeSantis as the VP, but that wasn't going to happen because he'd lose Florida.
So we've had all this talk.
Yeah.
We've talked about this. And we're not a political show.
It's not a political show.
But you know what? America is run by politics now. You used to not talk about them at all. Couldn't talk about them in a bar. You couldn't talk about them at the dinner table. We've talked about this. We're not trying to sway anybody's opinion. All we're trying to do is get AA out of here to be at home by 8 p.m.
Yeah.
On whose birthday?
It's my wife Tiffany's birthday.
Shout out. Happy birthday,
you almost
Tiffany.
said how old she was.
I almost did. I don't want to
wrap
So we're not going to sing for you because we're not singers, but we are going to wrap right there.
Appreciate it.
Episode 40 will be next, but right now,
40/40 Club.
Tiffany's birthday.
It's Tiffany's birthday.
I'm not
birthday,
insinuating
Tiffany.
she's 40. She looks good for 28.
I appreciate that.
So, all right, boys. Thanks, guys. We were going off the rails. I had to fucking just...
Thank you for listening to Between Two Bridges, a business-to-business podcast. Find and follow us on your preferred podcast streaming platform. Like and subscribe, and leave us a rating and review. You can join us socially on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Yes, we still call it Twitter. You can email the show at info@betweentwobridgespodcast.com. Until next time, make it till you rake it.